Hello and welcome back to Practice Space. My name is Joshua W. Bruner, and tonight we're going to be talking about how your hearing shifts as you're under the influence of psychedelics. So, from everything I've read on the research that's coming out, we haven't been able to study psychedelics for a long time now, and that's kind of opening up. But what I'm seeing in the neurological studies is this trend of scientists being really, really excited about this idea of um, uh, neural activity just making connections in places it normally doesn't. And so this like the brain just kind of like turns on in this different way, and so your senses of sight, smell, and touch can all kind of like commingle together. So I mean, it's different for each type of psychedelic that you're talking about, um, but I found that really interesting. And yeah, so I wanted to do an episode where we talk about that a little bit because I'm sure a lot of you have probably experimented with something like mushrooms or LSD or something like that in your time partying or having fun or searching for some kind of spiritual truth. So you probably also noticed that your hearing was quite different and maybe more sensitive during that time. So yeah, I just wanted to tell some anecdotal stories about my experiences. I experimented with mushrooms and LSD mostly in my youth, and yeah, I have some interesting stories about sound during those experiences. So I remember one time on acid, I was living in North Carolina, and at that time I had a fascination with the electric guitar. I had just gotten my first real electric guitar and amplifier, and I was really excited about it. And my roommates were all musicians and had had a big party and happened to have some acid at the party. So I took some and was really, really tripping, and everyone went home eventually, and it was just us, and everyone else went to sleep. So then it was just me and this guitar, and it might have been like 1 o'clock at night or something like that. But I just turned it on anyway. I had no inhibitions, and my roommates were used to noise, so it was not a problem. Um, but I remember turning it on, and I just had the guitar laying flat, and uh, I just started to tune the guitar, but I got stuck on the first string that I even touched, because I noticed right away this wave effect that was happening in the string visually, and sonically I could hear the pulses, um, and they were timing perfectly with the way that I saw the string bending in these waveforms. And this is a long time ago before Instagram or YouTube was popping off, so I had not seen any footage of guitar strings slowed down before. I don't know if you've seen this. Check this out. So when you slow down the frames of the video, you start to see in the strings these wave patterns forming, and it's beautiful. It's so wild to watch and see it, and it just kind of like changes how you view sound, having that visual aspect so prominent right there. So there I am, like my eyes are giving me this ability to slow down how this string is wobbling, and I'm seeing the same exact thing. And I did this for like easily a half an hour on the same string, just kind of slightly changing the tuning left and right. And then my roommate finally came out and was like, "I think it's tuned. I think it's tuned, man." So I took that for what it was and went to bed. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting experience. Another thing I noticed on LSD, I love to play music. I love to write songs. And I always thought like, oh, you take acid and you have, or mushrooms, and you have this superhuman ability to write really like groundbreaking music, right? So each time I would take it, I would at least give like some kind of mental attention to picking up an instrument and trying to write a song. Never happened. I could never ever pull it together enough to make something happen. I would just have this mental block and get, like I said, completely lost in other aspects of the instrument or sound, and get pulled into these deeper zones that seem so simple. But I was noticing new things about these simplicities in sound. So yeah, it was definitely a pretty ear-opening experience, just like rethinking everything I know about sound through these experiences. And another thing I like to do, if we were on a hike or something with friends, I would often bring a little tape recorder or something like that with a cassette tape or a CD or something. And I would run ahead of the group and hide it somewhere with some music playing, and then like just kind of like work my way back into the group without anybody noticing. And then as we walked forward through the trail, there would be this kind of awe and wonder as to like where this noise was coming from, and then eventually people would find the device and my cover would be blown. But it was always fun to watch people just kind of pranking them with sound in a fun way. One more quick story about this was about mushrooms and brainwaves. So, by the way, what am I wearing on my head? This is the Muse EEG headband. It's a brain sensing headband, picking up the volume levels of my 5 brainwave states, which you can now see live on the screen here. And so if you're familiar with my work, now I generate soothing soundscapes with my brainwaves, patching this information into Ableton Live, where I can assign lots of instruments. The music we're hearing right now, I'm making as I'm talking to you. So this is known as neurofeedback, and I put on concerts quite a bit before I left San Francisco, and a couple of them were this group of people who get together and have a little bit of mushroom tea, not like a hero's dose or anything like that, just some gentle doses. And then they would have musical acts come in and play soothing sound meditation type soundscapes. So the 2 times that I did this, I shared the bill with a gong player who had like probably easily 40 different pieces all hung up around him, and it was just really immersive, and he knew exactly how to play each one. And so yeah, that would kind of like kick off the evening, and we would all kind of close our eyes and get in a comfortable position and let that kind of start the journey. And then I would connect my brainwaves to a projector like this so they could see it live, and then perform one of my soundscapes like we're going to listen to here in a moment to the group, and meditate while I was doing this, just as I do in these streams. But I was obviously, this was the first time I was performing or even trying this under the influence of mushrooms or any other type of psychedelic. So yeah, it was a little stressful, I have to be honest, just because putting all this gear together like within 10-15 minutes, and then having it ready to go was kind of stressful. But then once I was able to sit down and relax and just follow the music, I had some really profound experiences with the neurofeedback during that, and I saw lots and lots of delta brainwaves in my meditation because I also record the data and can look at it afterwards. to get a glimpse into what was happening. And those delta waves are really crucial. So anytime you can meditate and increase those delta brain waves, that's really good for your immune system and your overall health. So I was really excited to see that. And the second time I did it, it was a similar outcome. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't done that since, but it was really fun to do, and I hope to get out soon in the world and do more live concerts. But in the meantime, let's do this online. So go ahead and get comfortable. Take a deep breath and kind of reset yourself and get ready to slow down. Basically, all I'm going to be doing is closing my eyes and then focusing on my breath. So I'll start breathing in slowly through my nose. Sometimes I'll hold my breath at the top of my breath, and then I'll start to listen for my heartbeat in my chest, that feeling of my rhythm. And I kind of just get lost in that. And if I'm having trouble focusing on that, maybe I'll throw a mantra at that same rhythm of my heartbeat. I often will just throw the number 1 out there. So every time my heart beats in my mind, I'll repeat the number 1. And this really just draws you into a deep space. And I just let the music kind of do its thing. I have a low volume on my headphones, and I'm not really focused on the music so much as I'm focused on that feeling of my heartbeat. And yeah, you can do that. If you already have a meditation practice that you're familiar with, use that. If you've never meditated, you can try what I'm doing, or you can just listen and experience this. I'm also going to show some cymatics. There's a binaural beat in this track that's in the sub-bass region, in the key of C, and 32.11 hertz. And I made a cymatic video of that sound through water, which creates these beautiful geometric patterns. So this is called cymatics. You should definitely check that out if you haven't. Water and sound and light is like super incredible. I'm going to do a lot more videos of cymatics soon. So yeah, get comfortable. We're going to do this for about 20 minutes or so, and I'll check back in with you at the end. So thanks for meditating with me. I really hope you were able to release some stress and hopefully get a good night's sleep after that meditation. Research shows that if you slow down with music on a regular basis for about 20 to 30 minutes each session, that you're going to start to see accumulating health benefits from that, including a boosted immune system, better sleep cycle, and a better mood. So definitely start a sound practice if you haven't started one yet, and start looking into sound and the health benefits that it can offer you, because it's a very accessible form of preventative health care that we can all take advantage of. I'm going to show you here at the end the overlay of my brainwaves that were recorded and the MIDI data that was recorded in my Ableton Live session, just so you can kind of get a sense of what went on. Otherwise, I'll see you next Monday. And if you have any suggestions for topics or sounds that you want to hear in the soundscapes, always feel free to reach out and let me know. Remember to subscribe and like our Instagram and Facebook page. All right, have a good night. Thanks for making space to listen.